Finn's daughter Luna has spent months nursing a wound that refuses to scab over. A wound cut the day Steffy Forrester stood between father and child and warned the world that no secret offspring of John Finn Finnegan would upset the perfect tableau she curated atop the Malibu cliff house. Every sideways glance, every whispered "poor Luna," every time her name was followed by a pitying sigh, hardened into a vow, she would remind Steffy that power is always rented, never owned. Tonight the moon is a sharp silver sickle and the Pacific roars against the rocks. Luna slips through a side window Steffy rarely locks, gliding past surf-polished sculptures and framed photographs of a life she was denied. In the nursery glowing with pastel nightlights, little Hayes's breathing is the soft metronome of innocence. Luna's fingers tremble as she gathers the boy into a blanket, rehearsing the message she intends to send Finn. This is the cost of distance, the tax on abandonment. She is halfway to the French doors when headlights rake the driveway. Steffy has come home early from a Forrester Creations emergency. High heels click on marble, a purse drops, an alarm chirps off. Luna darts behind a curtain, pulse pounding. Steffy's voice, velvet over steel, calls for her son, then tightens with alarm when she sees the crib empty. Hayes whimpers, giving Luna's hiding place away. Steffy spins, launches forward, and with a decorator's crystal vase in hand strikes Luna behind the ear. Glass shatters, Luna crumples, Hayes tumbles safely into his mother's arms as security rushes in. Sirens smear the distance to crimson. On the patio, paramedics tend to Luna while deputies snap photos. Steffy, jaw set, presses a kiss to Hayes's hair and orders her team to make sure that girl never sees daylight again. The arrest charges read aggravated kidnapping, burglary, child endangerment, felonies that guarantee headlines and a public spectacle. When Lieutenant Baker informs Finn that his testimony will make or break the state's case, the doctor tastes iron in his throat. Memories cascade. Luna as a toddler dozing against his scrubs in the staff lounge. Luna at 12 mastering skateboard tricks in a hospital courtyard. Luna gasping in disbelief when she learned the Forresters had welcomed Finn as a son-in-law. To protect that marriage, he signed away presents, choosing silence over scandal, but silence has now metastasized into a courtroom cancer. Steffy convenes a war council in the Forrester living room. Ridge offers unlimited legal funds, Carter drafts restraining orders, and Thomas sketches a PR tourniquet to stop Brand bleeding. Across town, Lee Finnegan scolds her son for wavering. That girl inherited your stubborn streak and her mother's recklessness. Testify, lock her up, and cut the infection out. Yet at the jail, Finn sees Luna bruised and shackled, her eyes no longer fiery but flooded with shame. She whispers, "I didn't want to hurt Hayes. I just wanted you to look at me, Dad." Those 6 words burrow under every oath he took as a physician and as a father. The preliminary hearing becomes daytime television catnip. Reporters jam the benches. Steffy enters in a white power suit, Hayes clasping Amelia's hand like a talisman. Finn follows, tie askew, refusing to meet his wife's gaze. District Attorney Durkin outlines a narrative of a vengeful illegitimate daughter willing to endanger a preschooler. Defense Attorney Martin counters that decades of deliberate parental neglect created a desperate eruption, not a cold-blooded scheme. Cameras pan to Steffy tightening her grip on Hayes's stuffed dinosaur. When Finn is called, every flashbulb ignites. He swears to tell the truth, voice quavering, recounts Luna's life of half-promises and closed doors, admits he paid for her schooling, but never gave her his name. Durkin presses, "Did Luna forcibly remove Hayes?" Finn's throat locks, Martin objects. Judge Delgado demands an answer. Finn finally states that Hayes was in Luna's arms, but uninjured, that Luna froze when confronted, That panic, not malice, ruled her. The gallery erupts. Steffy's eyes blaze betrayal, Lee mutters an obscenity, and Luna's shoulders sag with disbelief that her father just handed the prosecution a loophole. Outside, social media detonates. #Forrester kidnap trended at dawn. Now #FinFlip climbs by noon. Weeks of legal chess follow. Steffy leverages every Forrester contact. Influential mommy bloggers smear Luna as a predator. Fashion columnists praise Steffy's maternal ferocity. Martin subpoenas Forrester security footage showing Steffy's preemptive strike. Though the blow felled Luna, it also deprived investigators of proof she intended physical harm. Ridge threatens countersuits. Martin floats a civil action for excessive force. Hayes's pediatrician testifies that the child shows no trauma markers, undermining claims of lasting damage. Delgado schedules a final evidentiary hearing, secretly urging both sides toward plea negotiations. In a midnight meeting under courthouse fluorescents, Martin proposes probation, counseling, and a restraining order. Durkin balks until Finn, exhausted, offers to finance a children's trauma charity in Hayes's name if the state forgoes prison time. Steffy storms in, condemns backroom deals, accuses Finn of sacrificing her peace for his guilt. Ridge advises calm, but Steffy's ultimatum echoes, choose your daughter's freedom or our marriage. The next morning tabloids scream Finn's Sophie's choice. At the hearing, Finn publicly supports the plea, describing redemption over retribution. Delgado accepts, sentencing Luna to 5 years probation, mandated therapy, and 500 hours of community pediatric outreach under Finn's supervision. Gasps pulse through the gallery. Steffy's expression shatters. She removes her wedding rings, places them on the counsel table, and walks out without looking back. Ridge follows. Camera flashes assaulting. Lee collapses into a pew. Luna, released, reaches for Finn's hand, but he whispers, "We have miles to rebuild." Outside, microphones crowd him about the cost of compassion. He replies, "The cost of no compassion is higher." In the weeks that follow, Forrester Creations weathers boycott threats. Steffy relocates with Hayes to Eric's Bel Air estate and files for legal separation. Finn moves into a West Hollywood apartment where Luna sets up an air mattress on the floor, both learning the contours of overdue familiarity. Therapy sessions expose wounds. Luna's rage masks abandonment terror. Finn's healer persona shielded a coward afraid of scandal. Meanwhile, Steffy's heart fracture deepens. She lashes out on the design floor, fires interns who mention Luna, rejects Ridge's counsel. At a runway preview, a model collapses. Finn rushes from the audience, instinct overriding exile. He stabilizes the woman. Their eyes meet. An unspoken question hovers. Later, Steffy admits she misses the sound of Hayes giggling at Finn's tickle games, but fear for her son's safety keeps walls up. Media analysts debate, is Steffy justified or punishing? Carter files custody motions. Martin counters that Finn's new criminal justice program for at-risk youth demonstrates fitness. Judge Ramirez orders co-parenting mediation. In a sterile conference room, Hayes wanders between parents, settling eventually in Finn's lap with the innocent certainty that love is indivisible. Steffy studies the tableau, tears threatening mascara. "I don't forgive," she says quietly, "but I won't weaponize our son." A fragile truce forms. Alternating weekends commence. Months pass. Luna's probation officer files glowing reports. She mentors children at a free clinic. Her Instagram rebrands from revenge memes to literacy drives. Yet paparazzi remain vultures. One Thursday evening, a biker with a grudge against Finn's charity revs through the clinic parking lot, nearly clipping a 6-year-old. Luna shields the child, suffers a fractured arm. News spreads, Steffy visits the ER, sees Luna in plaster, witnesses genuine altruism. In the corridor, Steffy and Luna speak without vitriol for the first time. Luna apologizes, Steffy concedes blocking Finn was wrong. They agree Hayes deserves a family that is something sweeter than coexistence. Finn arrives to find both women exchanging a tentative handshake, symbolic, imperfect, but real. The saga closes on a Malibu dusk. Steffy, Finn, Luna, and Hayes gather by the cliff rail. Waves boom below, gulls will overhead. Steffy kneels beside Luna, handing her a framed photo of Hayes laughing on the beach. He should know the face of the sister who saved him from a runaway motorcycle, Steffy says, voice hoarse. Luna bites her lip, nods. Finn wraps an arm around both women. Hayes tugs at Luna's sleeve, asking for a superhero story. As the sun melts into the sea, forgiveness, not fanfare, writes the final headline. Proof that even in a world stitched together by fashion, fortune, and betrayals broadcast at noon, the boldest and most beautiful choice can be mercy. 6 months after the Cliff House détente, Finn petitions Judge Delgado to convert Luna's 5-year probation into time served, citing flawless compliance, a stack of pediatric clinic commendations, and a heartfelt letter from Hayes, dictated and signed in crayon, asking that my sister come to my birthday with no police around. Delgado agrees. In one gavel strike, Luna walks out of chambers legally free. Finn, relieved, chooses honesty over strategy and phones Steffy that same night. I had to give our daughter her life back. Steffy's silence is colder than any courtroom. By dawn, Forrester publicists wake to her 3-word directive, file. Within 48 hours, the petition for divorce is stamped, served, and splashed across fashion gossip sites as Steffy Forrester cuts Finn loose. Ridge, fearing another media wildfire, flies home from Paris, but Steffy refuses comfort. I begged him to protect Hayes first, she chokes out, and he chose Luna again. Carter drafts custody proposals. Finn counters with joint. The war drums start up. Softer this time, but still relentless. The ink on the separation papers is barely dry when calamity strikes again. Liam Spencer, the one steady shoulder Steffy still trusts, is covering a Spencer Publications charity launch in Aspen. A freak avalanche slams a ski lift tower. News helicopters capture twisted aluminum dangling like marionette wire. Emergency crews pull survivors, but Liam, reporting on site, camera in hand, never clears the debris field. By evening, the network scroll confirms what Steffy's ringing phone already told her. Liam Spencer, 38, dead in Colorado tragedy. Grief robs language. Steffy screams ricochet off the Malibu glass walls, scattering photo frames of happier winters. Taylor rushes from Monaco, Brooke from the valley. Ridge holds both women as sobs turn to shudders. Yet nothing stanches the widening fissure in Steffy's universe. Marriage ended by betrayal, best friend stolen by snow. Funeral week is a blur of black silk and camera flashes. Bill Spencer, stone-faced and volcanic, thanks mourners, then privately vows legal vengeance on the ski lift operator. Hope Logan, shattered but graceful, invites Steffy to share the front pew. The two rivals cling together, no competition left in their clasp. In the back, Finn stands alone, barred from the family section by Steffy's glare, yet unable to leave. Luna touches his elbow. He shakes his head, unwilling to make this grief about them. After the burial at Point du Ciel Cemetery, Steffy locks herself and Hayes in the Bel Air guest wing, instructing staff to refuse Finn's calls. Night after night, she reads Hayes' Goodnight Moon with a voice stripped of melody, then sits by the window staring into hills where Liam once taught her their daughter Kelly's first constellations. Shadows become memories. Memories become rage. She blames Finn for the chain reaction, Had he not freed Luna, she never would have filed for divorce, never leaned on Liam so hard. Perhaps Liam would have skipped Aspen altogether. In grief logic, causality bends to pain. Finn, spiraling, doubles shifts at the trauma center, stitching strangers to mute his own lacerations. Luna volunteers beside him, sensing he needs presence more than words. Gossip columns jab, is Finn replacing Steffy with Luna? The insinuation sickens him, but he ignores it. No public rebuttal can mend what's private. Then a letter arrives at the Bel Air estate. Superior Court summons for a final custody hearing, expedited by Judge Ramirez after Steffy's counsel alleges Finn exposed Hayes to ongoing psychological risk. Finn's legal team counters that prolonged maternal isolation is itself harmful. Ramirez schedules a single-day trial. The date lands exactly 1 month after Liam's death, guaranteeing paparazzi saturation. Courtroom security is tighter than Fashion Week. Steffy testifies first, voice brittle but unbroken, detailing nightmares where Luna reappears at Hayes' crib. She brandishes tabloid photos of Luna leaving Finn's apartment at dawn after clinic duty, proof, she says, that Finn's judgment is clouded. Finn takes the stand, concedes the images, but clarifies context. She sleeps on my sofa because probation forbade late-night buses, and the clinic closes past midnight. He pleads for joint custody, promising supervised transitions. Ramirez calls a recess. During the break, Hayes slips from Amelia's grasp and toddles to Luna in the hallway, handing her a crumpled drawing. For stick figures, Mommy, Daddy, Hayes, and a tall girl labeled Luna. Steffy sees the exchange, something inside her cracks, but pride welds the fissure shut. When court resumes, Ramirez renders a Solomonic split, primary residence with Steffy, alternate weekends with Finn under therapist-monitored reintegration. Steffy wins the battlefield. Yet the victory feels hollow, echoing in the mansion's high ceilings. Weeks drip by. Grief and custody schedules leave Steffy sleepless. One storm-lashed night, Hayes spikes a 104-degree fever. The pediatrician is unreachable, the road slick. Steffy wrestles with independence, then dials Finn. He answers on the first ring, arrives in minutes, stabilizes Hayes with an antipyretic protocol and cool compresses. Steffy, hair plastered to her temples, watches the man she divorced cradle the son they share, humming the tune that once lulled her after home births. Exhaustion strips pretense. I hate that I need you, she whispers. Finn doesn't flinch. Needing someone isn't weakness. Pretending you don't is. At dawn, Hayes' fever breaks. Finn collects his bag, expecting dismissal, but Steffy stops him. Stay for breakfast. They eat in silence, broken only by cartoon chatter. It isn't reconciliation, but it isn't war. Outside, Malibu mist lifts to a delicate gold, proof that even after avalanches and custody crossfire, morning still returns. Whether it brings restoration or mere truce, no one knows, but for Steffy, for Finn, and for the memory of Liam who believed in second chances, the day is at least open, and that is more than nothing.